Hello there, and welcome to today's mission, which is in part exploring, but more exactly exploring this forest area here, which I want to quote from the guidebook that I have. Says it's the closest that you're gonna come to a jungle within Dalsland, which sounds very interesting, doesn't it? And that's really what I'm here to figure out today, what this forest actually has to offer, and see if I can find something nice inside here. I can hear water flowing. Oh, up here. I suppose it's flowing down here. Waterfalls are always interesting, no matter how small they are. So what do we have up here? Was a little bit too much debris down in that waterfall for it to be of any interest. It isn't really that pretty when it's like branches and stuff just going everywhere. For the moment we're just walking on this old overgrown road, and it's pretty boring actually. Just from down here, down by the lake where the path is at least, it's just an old birch forest with lots of fallen trees in it. I think the real beauty of the forest is probably a little bit further up into the hill, where it's a little bit thicker. Here it's pretty open actually. Hoping that the path is going to wind its way around and go more into the forest on its way back. That's my hope. Here you can see the path splits. We came from here and now we're going up here. So hopefully something more interesting up in the forest. I might actually have found something a little bit unusual and quite interesting. Behind me here we have a lot of young little trees. They're growing really close together. And they're growing up the hill, and the trees behind it are blocking a lot of the light coming in from that way. And it's open in this direction, so it's casting some kind of interesting light. It's not perfect, but it is something. So thinking I'm gonna take out the camera and at least try and see how it looks, because it could be something quite unusual, at least for me. I'm not really sure why I keep exploring these woodlands areas. It obviously isn't to my greatest interest, photographing this. I mean, it isn't really what I want to photograph. Simple as that. So what I'm gonna do now is actually just ignore the path, ignore the trail, and just go straight up here, straight up into up here somewhere is supposed to be a mountain. So let's go there instead, because the views are the things that I enjoy more than these closed down areas. Just as soon as I walked off the trail, I found this real small waterfall just creeping down over the rock, and it looks very interesting actually, so I'm gonna try to capture this. Even though the sun is almost peeking through, it is still in the shade, so it should be alright. Shouldn't have too many specular highlights, meaning really extremely bright highlights. Hopefully we can avoid those. Not a lot of place here. Not really sure how I'm gonna be able to film this, but anyway, let me get the camera forth and see what we can do. The waterfall kind of ends here, and I want to be looking down towards the end point, and then we have the pool down here where the water is ending up. So I want to see the pool, but I want it to be really in the bottom of the frame so that the viewer really knows that, or that it conveys a sense of ending down there. And then we're just gonna see how much of the waterfall we're gonna get into the frame. So I think this camera height is gonna be alright. Let's get the camera. I've framed everything up now and screwed on a polarizer to cut out the glare, which is a lot of glare. Everything is damp here, so other than that, shooting at aperture priority f22, ISO 50, and it's shooting a shutter speed of around 6 seconds, and that's really what I wanted to achieve as well. I wanted a really long shutter speed to smooth everything out. I like the smooth water, as I've explained before, and I also like it here in the waterfall. Even though it gets a little hard to see the water, but still it gives it a better look, I think. So the only thing left to do is to press the shutter and a unusual image. Not really what I thought I would find today, but the day isn't over, so let's continue. Really, there isn't too much to say about it. Well, I found the road, and I've been here before, so I know where to go now. These views aren't too bad, now are they? This is more what I like. Ooh. Not that it's easy to get a nice photo from these places either, but it's more my style. It's more what I like, where I like to put my energy. But first, I need to eat something. Well, I've eaten now, and I'm looking out over a pretty view. Yeah, it's a pretty view. It's not spectacular as you would compare to like the mountainous regions of Europe or anything, but it's pretty. As many places in Dalsland are. They're not spectacular, but they are pretty. This one is a telephoto shot, so I need to change lenses and start to set everything up. I've decided upon a composition here, with the 70-200 lens. And what I've decided is to incorporate a lot of the sky, and then we have the trees in the bottom here acting kind of like a foreground, and then we have a big lake and the landscape itself really as a middle ground, and the sky is the background, and it takes up a lot of the frame, mainly because the foreground here isn't really that interesting with this lens, and the sky is looking better. But before I decide whether or not the image is worth even taking is well, I have to wait to see if we get at least some kind of light here out of the landscape, because right now it's just way too flat to be of any interest at all. And there are some open spots in the clouds, so it could happen. It could be that we could get some light rays shining through on the landscape, and that, I think that would really add a little bit more to the scene. It's not a great shot, but it's something. Well, I think the best light of this evening has occurred. It was an opening in the clouds passing over the lake, and basically it created a hot spot in the lake. It was a bright spot in the lake, and well, that should draw the attention even more into the lake, so that could work all right. It wasn't the best image ever, but it is what it is. And that is basically the end of this vlog. It was kind of all over the place. The forest didn't really speak to me as much as I had hoped. I'm not really sure why I keep going to forests. They never speak to me. But these views, they do. So I guess I should put more of my energy into going to the open places. That's really where I feel the most at home, the most at ease. That's really what I want to capture, actually. So I guess I should be focusing more on that instead of going to places just to challenge myself, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and remember to subscribe if you want to see more. Like and share, leave a comment. I'll see you all soon again. Until next time, goodbye.